Story time with Fergie and friends.
Right, hello mums and dads, granny, grandpa, aunts and uncles, and yes, reading glasses on, woo, hat off, hat on, here we go, and we're going to the land of dinosaur adventures, Iguanodon. The Noisy Night, written by Veitch, illustrated by Dan Taylor. This looks a lovely book. Thank you, Miles Kelly, for allowing us to read it. One noisy night millions of years ago, an iguanodon called Isaac could not sleep. It was a stormy night. Thunder cracked. Lightning fizzed and heavy rain hammered onto the rocks. Around Isaac, his herd dozed peacefully, but the sounds of the night kept Isaac awake. Poor Isaac. At last the storm quieted and Isaac was just dropping off to sleep when chomp, chomp, chomp. Amos, the Amargasaurus, was having a midnight snack, as Amargasauruses do. I wonder what his snack was. A lovely little tasty goat. Please be quiet, Isaac shouted. Night is not the time for snacking. And Isaac stuck a fir cone in each ear to block out the noise. Oh, very clever. That's a good idea. Amos stopped eating and Isaac was just nodding off again when, owie! Now Roxana, the Rebbachisaurus, was having a bad dream. Shush! Isaac called out, louder this time. Night is not a time for shouting. And Isaac lay down again, pulled a big palm leaf over his face. Roxana settled down and Isaac was drifting off for a third time when scritch, scritch, scratch. Oh, a sauropelter called Stanley was scratching an itch between his shoulder spikes. Stop, yelled Isaac as loud as he could. Night is not the time for scratching. And he buried his head under his mum's leg. Suddenly there was an enormous quack from the storm again and Isaac jumped. He squeezed in between his mum and dad and next to his little sister. But maybe that wasn't such a good idea. Zuru, snored his dad, and shh, shh, went his mum, and wheezed his baby sister. When was this noisy night ever going to end? Just about everything else in the forest that could make a noise did make a noise that night. Thunder boomed. Boom! Trees cracked. Wind howled, whee! Even the bugs buzzed louder than usual. Buzz, 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 buzz. Be quiet, Isaac yelled at it all. The next day, Isaac came up with a plan. He collected pine nuts, horsetail plants, fern leaves, and all of the things that Amos loved to eat. Then he took all the food to Amos. Here's a big feast for you to eat before bedtime, said Isaac. Then you won't snack in the night. That's very clever. Well done, Isaac. Next, Isaac rushed around the forest looking for unusual creatures. Isaac wanted to tell Roxana a relaxing story to help her settle for the night. He soon spotted a lovely Liaoxyornis. Of course he did. Isaac made up a super story about the Liaoxyornis. I'll tell you the ending at bedtime, he said to Roxana. You'll have a happy, sleepy thoughts tonight, Isaac promised. Yes. There wasn't much time left. Isaac rushed back into the forest and looked for a special piece of rough and bumpy bark. Isaac found just what he was looking for and took it for Stanley. This will be perfect for you to scratch your back on before bedtime, he told Stanley. It was getting dark, but Isaac was still busy. He tied back loose branches and blocked gaps in any trees that might whistle in the wind. He slapped moss on any rocks that might be noisy for it if it rained, and made a cozy palm leaf tent to sleep under. Well done, Isaac. Then Isaac tripped over something in the dull evening light. Uh-oh. He looked down at two palm leaf bulbs poking out from the ground. They were the perfect size to block his ears. Phew! Phew, sighed Isaac, trying the palm leaf bulbs in his ears. That busy day has tired me out. I'll just sit here for a while. Have a little snooze. By bedtime, the forest was quiet, but Isaac was nowhere to be found. His friends soon discovered him behind a tree. Now the only sound anyone could hear was Isaac snoring very, very loudly. I wonder how Isaac snored. Can we guess? That's Isaac snoring. Wait, hold on. Let's find out another question here. Was Iguanodon a herbivore, carnivore, or an omnivore? Beep. He was. Would you like to know? I bet you know the answer. A herbivore. Bye.
With Fergie and friends. With Fergie and friends.